Hey guys, welcome at the Savage Garage. I'm here with my boy Beto, and today we're going to show you how to fit all Stunt Savage Creations parts, starting from our engine cage with axle sliders as a part of the design, our sub cage with CNC made aluminum pegs, full size 12 bar compatible with our sub cage and reinforced on the inside. Shorter version, our taillight saver, also with a CNC aluminum plate, full plate, perfect for jumps. Our 220mm handbrake bracket with custom painted and modified calipers. Our front Brembo adapter, also with our caliper modified and painted in store. Steel rear sets, and with our signature CNC aluminum pegs, solid bar mounts for your flimsy handlebars, and our billet aluminum chain adjuster. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome at the Savage Garage. Today we're going to show you how to fit Stunt Savage Creations billet aluminum chain adjusters. And tools required for this fit is just a set of Allen keys, one like this, hammer and a piece of wood, or a rubber mallet, which Beto was kind enough to lose. Stunt Savage Creations billet aluminum chain adjusters. In comparison, I want to show you, this is the standard adjusters. This one was somewhat modified by a previous owner. The nylon nut was fitted at the end, and there was an attempt made to insert a ball that's supposed to work as a paddock stand bobbin. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really allow you to adjust the wheel accurately, so we decided to make our own adjusters. They're very straightforward to use. 3 Allen bolts at the front, top and bottom, are basically secured in the adjuster inside the swing arm. When you turn them clockwise, you straighten that plate, and that plate in return locks the adjuster in place. The middle bolt is the actual adjustment, and the grab screw is just an additional safety feature. So in order to fit this adjuster, you need to loosen up the top and bottom. For that we use a 5mm Allen key. I'm using just a simple push bike Allen key tool over here. It's quite handy. And next thing we need to do after removing the standard adjusters, clean the side of the swing arm. And the next thing to do, just put the swing arm, put the adjuster inside the swing arm. What's really imperative, we need to make sure that the grab screw is facing outwards, okay? Because if you fit it like so, you won't have an access to it. So it is very important that the grab screw is facing outwards on both sides. So you line it up like that. It should be a tight fit. Okay. What is very important, that the swing arm is in a good condition. If the swing arm is out of shape, you won't be able to put the adjuster in. If you force it, you run the risk of damaging the adjuster. So that's the only thing you need to make sure it's in a good condition. So if we don't have a rubber mallet, we're going to use a piece of wood and a hammer. That's it. With the adjuster inside the swing arm, next thing we need to do is tighten up the top and the bottom Allen key to secure it inside the swing arm. So what I do, I turn it clockwise until I feel resistance, and then I alternate top and bottom, just a couple of turns after you feel resistance. There's no need to over tighten this. After fitting Stunt Savage Creations billet aluminum chain adjusters, next thing we're going to do is fit paddock stand bobbins. There's two options here. You can either fit on the top or on the bottom. Simply screw it in the place of your choice. Do exactly the same thing on the other side. And now, instead of using car jack and ratchet straps, we can pop the bike onto Stunt Savage Creations paddock stand. Hey guys, now we're going to show you how to fit Stunt Savage Creations handbrake bracket together with our sprocket. This sprocket is fabricated in-house. This particular sprocket is a 42 sprocket by 428 chain pitch, and it comes with a set of, every sprocket comes with a set of brand new nylon nuts. And Beto's going to give me a hand now to put that right into the bike. So the bracket goes exactly the same way as the original bracket would, and it's followed by the wheel. Guys, next step in our stand build is calipers. We're going to fit calipers onto the bracket that we just fitted a few minutes back. It's a straightforward fit. These are two Brembo P32 calipers, refurbished and painted in store, and they go straight on to the bracket. One on the bottom, which is going to be connected to your handbrake line, and one on the top that Beto's fitting, which is going to be connected to your foot brake. Couple of Allen bolts that we also supply. All you need is a 6mm Allen key to tighten them up, connect the brake lines, bleed, and we're good to go. Hey guys, next modifications that we're going to show you, it's an upgrade to a Brembo P32 or P34 caliper that goes to the front wheel. In order to be able to fit a caliper P32 or P34, you need a bracket that we fabricate in store. It's a very simple, straightforward and price efficient upgrade, and all you have to do is literally attach the bracket to the caliper to the bracket, and then the entire unit goes straight onto the bike like so. All the fixings are supplied in the kit, and very straightforward to fit. This modification takes less than 5 minutes to complete. And once you put the nut on the bottom, after tightening up the bolts and connecting the brake line, bleeding the system, you're pretty much good to go. Hey guys, we're going to show you how to fit Stunt Savage Creations sub cage. Our sub cage is made out of laser cut elements and equipped with CNC aluminum pegs, which are removable. It's a very straightforward fit. This particular bike is strictly from Stunt threaded, so it does not have a tail tidy. However, if you do want to run a tail tidy, you simply fit it between the sub cage and the subframe, and it goes right in between. And Beto's going to give me a hand over here with fitting. So all you have to do is just line up the 4 holes that are in the sub cage with the holes in the subframe. If you take your seat off, and you'll be able to see the openings. So basically, once you do that, it will align perfectly, and the bolts go from top to bottom. You can also do it from the bottom to the top, but then you have to be careful not to drop the nuts inside the subframe. In order to prevent that, you can use some sellotape or duct tape just to block it off. But we're gonna, just for the purpose of this demonstration, we're gonna do it from top to bottom, just like that. Okay. You want to grab it diagonally first. That is the sub cage fitted. Hey guys, next step in our stunt build is 12 bar. We're going to show you how to fit Stunt Savage Creations 12 bar. At Stunt Savage Creations we offer two options. Option one, it's called a tail light saver. It's a shorter option and it's equipped with a CNC aluminum plate. It bolts on straight onto our sub cage with 6 fixings that are supplied in the kit, and it's a perfect base for jumps, staggered wheelies, and many other tricks. If you prefer a full-size 12 bar, we also offer that at Stunt Savage Creations. This full-size 12 bar is reinforced with 2 plates on either side, and it also allows you to attach a titanium plate at the end for scrapes, and which is also available through Stunt Savage Creations, and it basically bolts on exactly in the same way. The choice is yours. Hey guys, just a quick tutorial on how to fit Stunt Savage Creations engine cage. This tutorial will be divided into 3 parts. Part number 1, cage preparation. Part number 2, bike preparation. And part number 3, the actual fitting. In order to prepare the cage, all you have to do is just merge all the parts that are supplied in the box, which is a rubber washer, crash bobbin, bolt, and the nut. The bolt goes through here. You have to screw the rubber washer on, and you put the nut on the inside of the cage. In order to tighten it up, you use the Allen key that is supplied with the cage and a 17mm either socket or a spanner. The only thing you have to remember, when you tighten this up, you want to make sure not to squash the rubber too much. You want to make sure there is no slack, but also you don't want to lose any of the padding, and just simply make it tight enough for it to stay in place. First part of the bike preparation for our engine cage installment. First thing you have to do, remove the main bolt. It's a 14mm on either side, and they're usually quite tight, so you just might need an extension or simply someone to give you a hand and hold the bolt on the other side. So simply remove the nut. The bolt comes out completely. You don't have to worry about the engine dropping down. Retain that bolt for now, we're going to use it later. Clean those 4 holes on the bottom of the engine. The reason why I have to do that, because the engine cage plate is attached simply to the bottom of the engine. You want to make sure that you can screw all 4 bolts by hand right into the engine block. Just like that. If there's any resistance, do not force it. Clean the thread, add it with WD-40 compressed air. once this is ready, then you're going to be able to begin the installment. Plates fitted on the bottom of the engine like so, while using those 4 holes. Longer bolts, 20mm bolts go to the front. So what you want to do, you want to line up the plate with the engine, while using longer bolts at the front and shorter at the back. So I like to do it diagonally, like so. Next step in fitment of our Stunt Savage Creation cage is putting the 2 main pieces on either side. These pieces are symmetrical, with the difference that one side is threaded. In this particular case, is the right hand side. We need to line up the cage with the plate on the bottom. I left the plate a little bit slack, and this is what you want to do until you are able to align everything. Then I will pass the main bolt to Beto, and he will feed it from right to left, and the thread will go right into the right hand side of the cage. He's using the tool that is supplied with the cage. Just a couple of turns, just enough to keep the cage in place. Yeah, that's fine. Next thing we're going to do, we use the joining pipe. It goes through here, between the 2 sides of the cage. And would you be able to hold it? Yeah, perfect. And while using our specially made tool and the bolt that is supplied, going into the cage and straight to the joint pipe, which is threaded. You want to turn it clockwise. Again, we want to leave it a little bit slack until we're going to be able to align everything. Beto's going to do the same on the other side. And in the meantime, I will fit the last fixing on the bottom. It's a 6mm Allen key, and it will go through the cage into the plate. And again, Beto will do exactly the same thing on the other side. Once we're happy with the alignment and everything's in place, then we're going to tighten up all the bolts in a crisscross pattern to make sure that the cage is solid. There should be no movement whatsoever. But it's really important that cage requires maintenance as well. So every time you drop the bike, you want to make sure that the cage is tight, all the bolts are tight and nothing's moving. So that's the cage on. It literally took 4 minutes to put on. Now we're going to tighten up all the bolts, and the next thing to do would be fit our axle sliders. What is really important, that you want to lose the washer. When you put the axle slider, the thickness of the axle slider is very similar to the thickness of the washer. So in order to maintain the same level of thread, you want to make sure you're losing the washer. Basically, all you have to do, once you remove the spindle, you feed the axle slider through on one side, spindle goes back through, and then you go with like so, just with the nut at the end. So it is very straightforward, and all you really need is just a 9/10mm socket. And remember, this is a part of our engine cage design, so those axle sliders come free with our cage. Hey guys, just another short video, this time on how to fit Stunt Savage Creations steel rear set. As you can see, the bike's been already partially disassembled. The old rear sets, standard rear sets, were removed. Also, the spindle that keeps the swing arm and the frame aligned also was removed. What we did to keep the alignment and keep the bike together, we inserted an Allen key that is supplied with our cage, and on the other side Beto put a bolt. So we got the alignment sorted, and now I'm going to show you how to fit the rear sets. Standard rear sets come with a number of circle clips, and we removed that completely. Next thing you need to do is attach the rear set to the foot brake lever. You don't have to worry about the circle clip anymore. We replaced it with just a simple spacer and a bolt. All you have to do, insert the spacer on the inside of the lever, feed the bolt through, and screw it onto the inside of the steel rear set. Just like that. Tighten up. Done. In order to secure the master cylinder onto the rear set, you use a spacer provided and a bolt. The spacers go in between the master cylinder and the rear set, like so. And you simply align it with the opening. There you go. We already did this on the bottom, that's just the top. Once you secure that, just use an Allen key to tighten up. And that is your master cylinder secured onto the rear set. Brake lever is secured also to the master cylinder. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna remove the Allen key and use the spindle to mount this rear set, and then we're gonna move on to the other side to secure the other side. If you look closer at the rear set, you'll be able to see there's a designated space for the brake light switch, and there's also a mounting point for the spring, both for the mainspring that allow the pedal to retract and a spring that is attached to the brake light switch. This particular bike will not run a brake light switch. It's strictly for stunt riding, so we don't have to worry about the brake light. But if you do keep your bike legal on the road, the place for the brake light switch and the spring is there. So we put the spindle through the rear set. The biggest spacer is on the inside, the smaller spacer will go on the bottom. And the bolt will be fed through the rear set, through the spacer, and into the frame, like so. Okay, and after attaching the spring, this side is ready. Now moving to the left side. Gear lever, steel rear set, no circle clips, a simple spacer and a bolt that goes from the inside through the lever into the rear set. A couple of spacers, the bigger one goes on the top, like so. Smaller one goes on the bottom, between the frame and the rear set, and then we have to hook up the gear lever, couple of turns. The only other thing I want to point out to you is that some of you might be wondering why this opening is there for. You can actually remove the peg and move it backwards a little bit, so there's a bit of an adjustment here, but the only other thing left now is tighten up all the bolts and insert a bolt over here to secure the gear lever, and the job is done.